my sister Kathleen and myself, Amy, and we're here in the fourth segment of what I designed as 4 to begin with. And that's what I put on the description, is that there would be 4, but there will be another one after this. We'll see.
Okay, well, for this final segment, we're going to do one brief example of clearing something, some specific thing. So, basically what we're going to start with is the words that we hear her say. So,
the words that you hear me say are, I just don't come up with the words.
Okay, so she doesn't come up with the words. She doesn't have the words to say. When she wants to say something, it's not there, right?
That's right.
Right. So that's the idea. It's an idea of being able to express yourself. So the first thing I would do after that, so the first thing is to recognize the words that are being said. The second thing would be to treat that with at first an affirmation, and secondly an essential oil. Now, essential oils have emotional properties, so that would be the second thing I would do. We would find an oil that has to do with the voice and speaking your truth, something like spearmint or lavender.
Mm-hmm. Lavender is what, right?
And I would put those on her. Okay, so that would be the second thing that I do. And essential oils can take time. So this is a process that you'll want to do multiple times until you feel like you've reached the bottom. And it's going to have to be up to you what you feel like you've reached. Yeah. Okay, so then the next thing we would do is we would try to find out where it comes from. And this is where we face the dragon, so to speak. So I would start asking her questions. What do you remember about being able to speak? What's the earliest thing you remember about being unable to speak?
And that goes back to when I was 4 years old. I was unable to talk to my mom. And I would describe the situation, but it's coming very clear right now. And so I would be in tears if this was something that we were going to actually do right now. I would be bawling because it is an intense time. I'm going to start.
Okay. So once she starts to feel it, that emotion, that trigger that triggers the emotion as we go back to that memory, that's going to be the strength and the power by which we so everything that is an automatic response, it was put there with a certain amount of energy, and in order to turn it back the other direction or to the proper way, you have to use that same energy and turn it. So what I would do next is I would ask her to go back there again until it does make her cry, until she feels it intensely as though she were going through it again. And then in that moment, listen to the beliefs that happened inside her 4-year-old mind to find out what she believed that maybe was not true. For instance, if we went back there and she said to herself, "I'm just too stupid to know what to say," that would be a belief that was not true, that we could then, with our conscious mind, answer that little person and say, "It's not true. You're smart. You are smart, and you always know what to say." And in that moment of intense emotion, that's where we would plant this new idea and take the old one out and say, from now on, this is what you believe. You were smart, and you are smart. And everything you say is right. And from now on, you always know the right thing to say.
And that is very freeing.
Yes, it is. And now when you do this process, you have to get to the place of intense emotion. That's the only thing strong enough to change it. When you get there, you plant the new belief, you root out the old one and say, from now on, this is what I believe. And your conscious mind always knows what the real truth is about yourself. Your conscious mind looks at that little person and says, you weren't stupid. You just didn't know.
And that's okay.
Yes. So that's a basic idea of how this works.